This look right here, I'm just gonna recreate it on this eye. I already had it done, so this eye looks a little bit red, that's why. I just took the makeup off real quick so I could do it. And then I don't really wear foundation like that right now because of the whole quarantine situation. There's no real reason to have on foundation, honestly. So I've just been doing like some nice little eye looks, either something kind of basic, more natural, or something like this, and then just doing like some Carmax or like a lipstick or something. I don't even do foundation. I still highlight as usual, and that's about it. But I'm actually gonna do just the tip of my brows, like the tail right here, and then do like some little white detailing in the front right there. I started off by saying I was gonna do the tail only. I lied. Now I'm doing the entire brow. Because I got distracted. Alright. This is gonna be like a quicker video. I just got done visiting some people for Easter. This is like a little Easter look. Something quick. It doesn't take too long to do since there's no like foundation or anything in play. That brow's good enough. All this hair on my head got me looking a little oily, but you know what? Oil is good, people. Makes you look younger. Now that we're done doing a little bit of color or whatever, it doesn't have to be perfect or anything. I'm gonna get a little bit of concealer and just bloop, dot it down right there. And I'm gonna slowly move it up. And if you can, try to dot into your concealer and then brush onto your hand to flatten the brush out a little bit, because when it's like more fuzzy, it's a little bit harder to control. And I'm just using this concealer to clean up what I did with the brows or whatever. But since I'm not doing foundation, I'm actually gonna wipe off the excess concealer on the borders. I forgot my little wet wipes. I'm gonna wipe off the excess concealer or just blend it out to where you can't even notice it, so that it's not affecting the look. We don't really want concealer to be showing. We want it to pretty much be our skin. I'm just using that concealer to clean some stuff up. And I got this Stila little liner right here. I'm just gonna, I get the tip and I go like this. Instead of coming in, striking down, I strike upward. And just start in the front. And I'm never trying to be too perfect with them. I just do like a couple, 3 to 5 little strokes. And then the ones, if they like, you see right here how it's a little bit above my brow. If it does that, I'll just get my finger, I don't know, that concealer brush I had a minute ago and just wipe the top of it. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and start on my actual eye makeup. So I start off by getting a piece of tape. If you don't have tape, use a Band-Aid. It doesn't matter. Just something that can stick to your face and keep the makeup from getting out of line. Keep her in check. All right. And where's my brush? I got a little eye brush right here, and I'm using this Nubian palette, and I'm gonna get this tan color right here in the top to start off my transition. I'm gonna go right up next to my brow with some swippity swiping motions. It's like a mix of a swipe. In the beginning, it's more of a swipe, and once I kind of get that base color down, I'm gonna start building it up by doing more pats across in the same areas it already wanted to. You see how you're starting to get this difference in the transition and your natural eyelid color? If you have like a little bit of melanin, I actually like to just kind of just shape out that eyelid color that we already have, that deeper tone. I kind of have like raccoon lids a little bit, and you can like use that in your favor. Instead of using like a darker color to make a smoky eye, all you gotta do is just highlight right here and put a little bit of gold down, or like a color that complements your undertone, and stop it about halfway. And this right here will be like your own little built-in smoky eye. All you have to do is transition, put a little highlight right there, a little lid color, stop about halfway, and you should be good. Maybe at the most you have to get a color that matches your natural lid color slightly, and just blend the seam together, the seam where the lid and the colors connect, and that should be it. But we're not doing that today. We're not doing anything basic. But if you guys want that, let me know. So I'm gonna continue putting down my transition. And now that I kind of sort of see that tannish, deserty sand color, I'm gonna go ahead and get like an orange, an actual orange from the Zulu palette. So I got my orange, and I'm gonna start packing it in. The reason why I did the sweeping motions is so that I can get that color all the way across the top, so that when I do this orange part, I don't have to go back over the tip with the lighter color to blend down and diffuse it a little bit. I'm stopping about right here with the orange. I'm not affecting any of this because I wanted to match this area where it's that orange and then transition color. So we're focusing the orange right down in here. What kind of music do y'all listen to? I'm gonna add a little bit of orange over here just to match it up a little bit. I want a little more orange on this side. I've had this makeup on all day. I just decided to film a quick little video, so I had to come home and actually refresh it a little bit before I got on here. That's okay. I'm gonna go back over this little section and re-highlight when I'm done. Bring it all together. But yeah, what music do y'all listen to? I'm more of like a, I need to plug my brows. Don't mind me, y'all. Quarantine. I'm more of a like all over the place type of person. I don't like country that much, other than like a good old Miley Cyrus or a Carrie Underwood, something like that. But I like a indie or soul, a little R&B moment, sometimes alternative. What do y'all like? And now that I've gotten this orange down, I'm gonna start going in with, let me see, with this Masquerade palette, the burgundy right here, this burgundy. And I'm using more of this flat brush that's kind of wider over the top. It's like really dense, so it's gonna pack the color in. I'm using that brush to place my shape. And I'm literally putting it on that tape. I'm doing half of it on the tape and half of it off the tape so I can keep that line tight and really sharp. So when I take this tape off, it's gonna look perfect. Like over here. Yeah, this little look right here probably took me about 30 minutes, not including doing my hair and stuff. About 30 minutes to do today. And I was like, you know what, I need to share this with the people. Show y'all a little something. Give y'all a little bit of inspiration during this time. This is the best time for you guys to watch my videos, anybody's videos, honestly, and practice. So you see how I'm leaving this gap out right here? I could go ahead and fill that in, but I know I'm gonna fill it in with another color. So that would just make my life harder in the end if I did that, if I filled it in right now. So I'm just gonna avoid that. Okay. That's pretty good. Not much else you have to do there. Now I'm just gonna go back in with my orange. If I can find my brush. I'm gonna go back in with my orange and just blend that line out a little bit. Where's my brush? Oh, got it. Actually, I'm gonna start with this tan color first that we used at the very beginning. And I'm just gonna do a little windshield wiper motion to blend out that color a little bit. I'm wearing like this, I don't know what to call this color. This color, and I didn't really want to do too much pink in my transition. I usually would with like this burgundy-ish plum color. I would transition out with like a pink and then get that pink to go into more of an orange and then into the tan. But I wasn't really feeling that today. So I'm doing straight from the burgundy into the orange in like the little tannish color right here in the beginning of my brow. Piercing also, people, if you notice. And then I'm gonna get this color right here that I dip into often and swirl around, and then I like to highlight the beginning of my lid right in that transition, just to kind of, I don't want to say carve out, but give that darker color more of a definition without cutting the crease or really carving it out. I just put like a little halo of a lighter color around it, but I make sure to dip into it light and do like a good brush effect over it, a light brushing, to where it kind of looks like my skin, like it's a glow from within, not like a really sharp line of highlight where it's an extreme difference. You see how like you can tell that there's a dewiness there compared to the matte eyeshadow I have right here, but it's not really lethal. It's not gonna kill anybody. Alright. Now that I got matte highlighted and transition, I'm gonna get that orange one more time before we move on. And just lightly swipe. Barely even touching it, but just kind of dusting that tan off. And we got a little bit more intense orange on this eye, so we're gonna intensify this a little bit more, strictly on that very tip. Alright, that's good enough. Now I'm going to get this pink masquerade palette and get my little ring finger. I'm gonna put it right in that space right there that we left open. I'm gonna put a little bit more right here because it kind of disappeared throughout the day from life, you know. So I'm just gonna get my finger, and this is what really makes it quicker. So if you're already a person that can throw a transition down real quick and then cut out a V, then this would be like a 10-minute, 5-minute look. Especially if you're already dressed and have your hair done, it's be pretty quick. So I just get this pink color with my finger and concentrate it right in that space we left out. Not really going too far over here because I want to keep that darker smoky-ish color. I don't want to lighten it up too much. We're not going for like a monochromatic look today. But I like monochromatic looks. Kind of want to do like an all red one or like an all blue eye or something. And I'm not trying to be too perfect with this. All I want to do is really avoid that triangle. This is what I call a triangle right here. I'm just avoiding that because it's already sharpened and cut out. I don't really want to affect it. And now I just get a smaller brush. This one's still dense on the top. It's just slightly smaller. And I'm going to get that burgundy color from Masquerade that we used to make that triangle. I'm just gonna redefine it a little bit where that pink kind of sort of overlapped. You can get it right here too. All right. And now I'm gonna get a flatter brush. It's still a little, it's like the same length as that last brush I just used, but it's much flatter. And this is really good for applying highlight like the inner corner or like up there. And I'm gonna get that with a little bit of this pink. I'm actually gonna get that with a little bit of pink. Shit, where'd it go? And I'm just putting it right here. We're not actually doing pink here. We're gonna put highlight down, but it's white highlight, and I wanted to have a slightly pink hue to it. So in order to get that, I put a little bit of pink down first, so it's gonna mix in with the highlight. I'm getting that flat brush again from earlier and getting a little bit of burgundy on it. And then just pulling and doing my little area down here, my water line. Need a little bit more powder. And at the end, when I take the tape off, I'm also gonna connect this area with this with that little bit of burgundy also. But I'm just doing it right now so I get a feel of how it's gonna look, even though I already have one done. So yeah, like I was saying, this, you see how like it looks a little bit wonky right now? I'm leaving it because I'm gonna go around with that wet wipe and just make it a little tighter. But I wanted to make sure I got that pink in there and that purple in there so that it has more of a gradient than just being purple or just being pink. So now I'm gonna get my Stila liner and just be kind of careful. I'm not super good at liner, but I've been trying to do it lately. And I'm gonna connect it from where that highlight stops to about the arch of my brow. So look from here to the arch of your brow. So I'm gonna start here to the arch of my brow. Boom, boom. To be honest, when I do like this, I'm pretty sure like this is probably everyone, but with my dominant hand and my dominant eye, it's much easier to just swoop. But with this left eye, bitch, it's like, it's just terrible. But you know what? From a distance, it look good. They shouldn't be that close anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and match this. I try to look straight on and then go to like the slight outer part of my pupil. So if it's this eye, I'm going slightly towards my ear, and if it's this eye, I'm going slightly towards my ear. Instead of being dead in the center or a little bit inward, I'm going slightly outward. There we go. Instead of doing it dead on like this, you want to angle your hand more like this, to where you can just pull your arm up instead of having to actually move your hand along with it, because that makes it pull a little bit on your cheek. Instead of doing this, you just want to have it tilted to where you can just do this and move it straight up with as little motion as possible to get your line, especially if you have these Gucci bags. All right, now I'm gonna get that transition brush again from earlier and get my little palette right here and dip into that color that we used to cut this part right here. And I'm just gonna reapply this a little bit because we put that transition back down, and I just wanna wake her up again. And then I'll get my Benefit brow setter. And then I use the shorter size, like it has slightly longer little teeth on one end than on the other end. Hold on. Beauty Guru, my dirty little palette bag. But it has like slightly smaller teeth on one end and on the other end. So I'm gonna use the smaller teeth and brush those hairs. They have those details, like I don't wanna wipe them with this setter. It might not affect it, I've never really tried, but I'd rather not fuck up my details. And I'm gonna get at an angle and just get that gap in between those two white lines also. Another thing about this quarantine, I haven't seen a reason in wasting lashes either. Like, I don't want to waste any foundation unless I just, for some reason, will be meeting someone during quarantine. And I'm not wasting anybody's lashes just to be wearing them. I waste some eyeshadow though. I use that all the time. So after I've done this step, I'll go ahead and take this off. And we got a little line. Y'all see that shit? That could cut people. You see that? Boom, that's a weapon. Gotta put her in my purse. So I got this on my face now. I'm gonna get that burgundy little tiny brush we used earlier and just dip back into my burgundy. And then slightly just fill this in. Like, I don't want to dome it out and fuck up that sharp line we do. So I just really dome it out right here in this corner. But I don't go as far as to go all the way up here and connect that because I want to keep that line sharp. Because if I don't, then what was the point of using the tape? What was the point? And I get that little bit of pink. I'm using pink now, by the way. And I just kind of sort of circular motions, airbrush that out. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight my areas. Then I'm gonna grab a wet wipe, clean up, and we should be done. Alright, so I couldn't find any of my little wet wipes. So I got some cotton balls instead. And a little bit of witch hazel. I'm just gonna slowly approach the line and cut off little by little. I don't want to go straight into there because like I don't want to erase too much and then have to reapply. And this is much easier or much more precise when you have like a wet wipe. You can just like wrap around the tip of your finger and go in. But you can get it done with the cotton ball too. Whatever's available. I'm gonna get a dry one. So now I'm gonna get my floofy brush. Wherever she is, here she is. My floofy brush. And which palette? This Saharan palette right here. And I'm going into this little pink right in the very bottom that I rarely use. And I'm tapping it all over. All over, really loading it up. And then I'm going into the Masquerade palette and also tapping into this pink. So I'm doing a shimmer highlight pink, and then this matte pink is more like a blush. I'm just gonna go ahead and blend them now instead of doing it one at a time. And then tap, tappity, tap, 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 tap. Okay. And that's enough of her. So now that we have the color down, I don't like to be too crazy with my blushes. I'm gonna get a towel and just wipe off all of that highlight and matte color that we had on there. Don't mind that. Popped a little pimple and I got a dark spot. That'll be okay. So now I'm just gonna blend them more into my skin. Little edges. Try to get this. If y'all got any suggestions on like makeup looks or tips or things you want me to do or try out, just let me know. And follow me on Instagram. I forgot to say that this entire time. @Greg the Queen on Instagram. Follow me on here. Do all of that. Okay, so now y'all seeing like the where the look's going. I'm gonna get a little bit of that same pink we just put on our cheeks. Just a tiny bit of her and put right there. And if you want to be like super precise, you can use like a small little detailing brush and do that same thing. But I don't care because I'm about to cut it out with a little lipstick anyway. I'm using a burgundy lipstick. And then get my favorite Milani lipstick that I used in my last tutorial. Put it right in the middle. Alright, now that's cute. We can leave it, but I'm gonna let it stay on or dry down just a little bit, and then I'm gonna put on a second coat just to make the red a little bit more intense. I'm gonna put that only right on that line right there. I'm not putting the red down at my bottom at all. That's pretty much the look. Oh, no it's not, I lied. I forgot, I did some little faux freckles too. So I'm gonna get my little liner and test it on my hand first. Alright, I'm just doing dots everywhere now. After I got on my cheeks, I'm just doing some around the perimeter to connect my dots. My little faux freckles. I hope y'all really like this look. Let me apply my second coat while I'm letting y'all go today. I hope y'all really like this look. I wanted to just get on here and put something together so I can be a little bit more consistent or whatever. I've been putting off making a video for a couple weeks. I had to just hop on here real quick and show y'all something. I hope it's cute. I hope y'all like it. I hope y'all are feeling the hair today with my little fake bangs. I kind of like the bangs. I don't think I want actual bangs, but they be cute. My little bangs. I hope y'all are feeling them. Yeah, follow me on Instagram. I have a picture of this posted already, but I'm gonna go ahead and make like a short little clip of this video and post on there so people can come on here and watch it. And that's that. See y'all later.
And so Ash races to catch up with his rival. Is he running towards victory, danger, or disaster? No one knows for sure, so be sure you're here for the next Pokemon.